Piccolo was finally defeated, but his conquest isn't over. He still has one more backup plan. Piccolo Jr. will carry on his will. But how? We'll cover all that and more in this penultimate 9th part of What If Goku is Piccolo's Vessel. The series isn't over, but we'll be going a bit faster now. It's about Piccolo as much as it's about Goku, so with King Piccolo dead, we won't focus on anything that doesn't involve him or Piccolo Jr. Speaking of that, why didn't Kami die? That's because he's actually linked to Piccolo Jr. now, which does raise suspicion because he assumed he would have died alongside King Piccolo. Something weird's happening, but they're not sure exactly what. Piccolo Jr. will be in the background for a bit, because he still has to grow up. And he's already beginning to hatch his plan against Goku. With Shenron still intact, anyone killed by the actions of Piccolo or his sons are brought back. This of course includes Goku and Vegeta. Thankfully this wish is phrased to only bring good people back, so Babidi doesn't return, and as for Boo, well, that was more Vegito's fault. Still, no more loose ends. Eventually Battle of Gods happens, and even with all the crazy changes so far, I don't see anything affecting how this story would go. So Beerus comes to Earth around the same time as normal, looking for the Super Saiyan God, and that ends up being Goku. Again, we can go a little bit faster here, so we're kinda gonna skim through Battle of Gods. Everything happens pretty much the same. There might be some small differences, but nothing worth mentioning. One difference is the fact that Beerus and Whis might actually know about King Piccolo, and the fact that Goku became a vessel for him somehow. Weird, they've never seen anything like that. A Saiyan with a Namekian living inside of him who's been sealed inside of him. Beerus hopes that doesn't mean Goku's weak without Piccolo, and he surely isn't. For the past few years, he's been getting adjusted to his old self. Weirdly enough, he has kept his regeneration powers and some limited magic. He lost a lot of the crazier things that Piccolo had, but Piccolo has been a part of him for so long that it's changed how his entire body functions essentially. His regeneration is a bit more limited now, but still, he actually has it weirdly enough, even in this newish body he was given. He's innately become used to doing that. Beerus could see that he'll definitely be a worthy rival, especially now as the Super Saiyan God. As Goku continues down that path, with Vegeta eventually following him, Piccolo Jr. is growing in secret. Before Beerus arrives, he actually does reach maturity, and he's waiting for the perfect time to attack. He's inherited a lot from King Piccolo, including some of that same power, down to Majin Buu's abilities. He's very unique, especially from the regular Piccolo Jr. we know. He was born way later on into the story, he has greater power, different abilities, and a partially Majin makeup as well, which is pretty fitting for someone evil like him. He spends his time honing his powers as much as he can. He witnessed King Piccolo's final battle. King Piccolo relayed everything to Piccolo Jr. during that fight. They shared a mental connection, and Piccolo Jr. could even see what was happening. And one thing he knows is that his father didn't really have full control of his abilities. And that's part of the reason he lost. So not only was Piccolo Jr. waiting to be fully grown, he was also working on these powers. He's still not a master yet because Buu has a wide variety of powers, and there's no way he's ever going to master everything. Same for all of Babidi's powers too. But by now, he's already surpassed King Piccolo. He just wants to make sure he's well above his father. At some point, he decides to go after the Dragon Balls. He does have to do this really covertly, and first that means stealing the Dragon Ball radar, so he takes his time with it. He can fight now if he wants, but he's going to play this really safe. He wants to make sure Goku, Vegeta, and everyone else dies. And amidst his search for the Dragon Balls, he encounters another group going for the Dragon Balls, Frieza's army. He kills them all pretty covertly, which inadvertently prevents Frieza from being revived. After all this time, they eventually found this planet. Piccolo Jr. puts two and two together. He realizes who these people are, and after the fact realizes what he just stopped. That wasn't his intention, but still, that's one less roadblock for him. Eventually he gets all the Dragon Balls, and he quickly summons Shenron. He has to be really quick with this because Kami will probably have an eye on him now, and realize what's going on. He asks for Shenron to unlock his full potential. He's not entirely sure what happened, but against King Piccolo, Gohan came back with even greater power. As for Goku and Vegeta, they didn't really grow too much, but for Gohan to grow that quickly in such a short amount of time, something supernatural must have happened. More supernatural than the normal stuff they see. Piccolo couldn't quite put his finger on what it was, but he decided to ask Shenron to unlock his power like this. And he actually was correct. That's exactly what happened to Gohan. In a different manner, but still, same principle. Shenron unlocks his power. Piccolo knows there's still one more thing he needs to do, but this is a huge boost in strength for him. As what's essentially a Majin Namekian hybrid, he has a ton of power locked away. But to truly unlock the full extent of his power, he'll need to absorb Kami's power as well. And now's the time to strike. The reason he was being so covert is because he wanted to go after Kami. Kami could have either killed himself to kill Piccolo, or he could have had the others protect him. But Goku and Vegeta are temporarily off Earth, so Piccolo instantly teleports up to the lookout. No words are exchanged. He places a hand on Kami and begins absorbing all of his power, forcibly fusing the two of them together. Thanks to his knowledge and training, his absorption is much more potent than King Piccolo's. It doesn't take all of his focus, and it doesn't take as long. So pretty much immediately after he teleports up here, he and Kami become one, and Piccolo could feel all the power coursing through him. He's finally reunited like he's supposed to be, but he's also the dominant one. Kami isn't influencing him in any way. Plus, there's nothing anyone can do to stop him now. He should be much stronger than everybody. He has way more abilities, and they don't have the Dragon Balls anymore. Sure, they could go to Namek, but Piccolo doesn't think they'll just head there right away. They're probably going to want to fight him first. So now, he just waits on the lookout, waiting for Goku and Vegeta to return. He would love to just go and find them right now, but he can't actually get to Beerus' planet. He could teleport pretty much anywhere else, but he just doesn't know where that is. Nor does he know that's where they are. But it doesn't take too long for them to get word of what happened. Whis brings them back to Earth, and Goku and Vegeta arrive on the lookout. And Goku can't believe what he's seeing. It's Piccolo. Although it doesn't really look like the same Piccolo from before. He's a little different. King Kai then starts speaking in his mind, telling Goku to leave immediately. It's too dangerous. He can't fight this guy. Something's off here. He was actually the one to alert Goku of everything because he saw that Kami was gone, knowing that he's part of Piccolo. But something about Piccolo is really off-putting, like he's way stronger than they think he is. But also King Kai is just terrified of the possibility that he might have powers even greater than King Piccolo. As in, not just his physical power, but his actual abilities might be better too. Where the hell did he come from? They defeated Piccolo so long ago. Why now? Piccolo Jr. formally introduces himself. The final and most powerful son of King Piccolo. Also, technically his reincarnation. King Piccolo's memories live on within him, as does his burning hatred for Goku. But not just that, his power too. He can't say for certain, but he feels he's long surpassed his father by now. Mr. Popo watches terrified nearby, and he notices some of the tiles from the lookout start to rise. All of them are rising around them. They all start swirling around, with Piccolo throwing them all at Goku and Vegeta, tearing the lookout apart completely. Telekinetically, he then opens the door to the time chamber. With one hand each, he grabs onto Goku and Vegeta, flying in there and dragging them in with him. This way, no one's going to sense them and no one's going to join. On the outside, this battle is going to be over before anyone even realizes. Of course, Piccolo can't just trap them in here. He knows they could escape. Plus, he'd be trapping himself in here too. That's not the point. This is just to prevent any interference. He's trying to do this as cleanly as possible. He's learned from his father's mistakes. No matter how powerful he thinks he is, he can't get too cocky. Especially with that god of destruction around. He's not sure if Beerus would even decide to join, but with this he could finish the fight before he even decides to, if he does. Piccolo instantly goes into his power awakened state. Quickly, they're able to go into Super Saiyan God. Individually, they're weaker than Piccolo, but together, they're much stronger, making it a pretty tense battle. If Piccolo really wanted to kill both of them and not risk anything at all, why do this? Why fight the two of them together and not do something like, I don't know, throwing them out into space where they can't survive but he can? It's kind of just a pride thing at this point. That's the one flaw he has here. He wants to know that he can defeat both of them at once, and by his own hand. That is a huge aspect of it. He needs this too, especially for the vengeance. It would be pretty unfulfilling if he did it any other way. And he feels like he could actually win this too. He's waited more than long enough, and with his power now, he should be far beyond them. Although, they do have a state above Super Saiyan God, one that they only just recently unlocked. So they don't have great control over it, but they go into Super Saiyan Blue. Piccolo didn't expect this, but it doesn't matter. He tries to draw out even more power. This power awakened state is intoxicating. It's like the power he's drawing out is nearly limitless. Before, when Shenron granted the wish, it was only based on Piccolo's regular potential. But ever since merging with Kami, his reserves of potential have grown even greater. And again, there's the fact that he's not a normal Namekian by any means. His potential is incredible, and this form is growing as he fights. Plus, there's the fact that Goku and Vegeta can't control Super Saiyan Blue too well. If they keep fighting like this, they're definitely going to run out of stamina, and Piccolo's going to grow too strong for them to defeat. If they knew to expect this, they would have brought the Batara with them, but they don't have it on them, and they didn't know this is what they were going to run into. But Vegeta has an idea. They need to get on the outside though, because he can't do this from in here. The two start running circles around Piccolo, creating a bunch of clones to distract him. Of course, Piccolo could see through this really easily. They're just hoping he buys the bait. They don't use this to try and attack him. They use this to go for the door, escaping the Room of Spirit and Time, barely making it to open the door and getting out of there. Vegeta then telepathically communicates with Beerus and Whis, saying they need to go. Vegeta and Goku hate the idea that they have to leave the fight, but just like Piccolo, they're not going to take any chances here. It's weird. Goku thought his purifying power would help here, but it doesn't seem to work. He's been using it the entire time throughout this fight, but it doesn't work on Piccolo Jr. Beerus and Whis then head to the lookout. But quickly, Piccolo then shifts the lookout, moving it to the other side of the planet. Not that this is an issue for them, but he just needs to buy a little bit of time. Like a few seconds. Because once more he grabs onto the two of them, throwing them into the time chamber. With Kami's powers, he can control the lookout as he wants, and he can feel that Beerus and Whis are heading here. He actually does have the ability to feel godly presences here. He then sends a bunch of ki blasts up into the air, heading to the time chamber as they rain down, destroying the lookout and destroying the time chamber, with Mr. Popo barely escaping and jumping off the lookout. What did he do that for? He just trapped them all in there. Again, Piccolo's just trying to buy some more time because even a few seconds on the outside is great. That's a couple more minutes on the inside. Even 1 second means about 6 more minutes in there. Beerus and Whis are fast, but he also fights pretty quickly, so if they're fighting inside the time chamber with dilated time like that, It makes a huge difference. Of course, he knows they could escape, but that's only if they survive. He's not just going to let them brute force their way out here, and if he wants to get out, he could just make a portal if he needs. He then goes for the kill, trying to absorb the rest of their powers. And with how much better his absorption is, it does work, and he takes a good chunk of their energy, as well as getting all the info about them, copying their techniques and such. But he sees something weird. A portal opens up in the sky. Whis is glad he found them, although he didn't realize they were in another dimension. He pulls them through the portal and leaves. And when they're back on the outside, Goku and Vegeta see that Beerus and Shin are there too. Shin says it might be a good idea to keep Piccolo in there. And just as he's about to jump through Whis' portal, it closes. And Shin tries everything he can to seal off this dimension completely. He doubts it's going to work, but it's at least worth a shot. While Beerus asks him what the hell even happened in there. Piccolo tries to escape, but he does feel a bit of Shin's magic. There's a seal, but if Shin wants to keep it completely intact, he's going to have to do this 24/7. This will only hold Piccolo for about a few hours on the outside, which of course is a few months in here. That's nothing to him. Plus, he can actually train in here in the meantime, and soon enough Shin's magic will weaken, or Piccolo's magic will grow enough that he could escape on his own. He's not worried at all. They're trying to do exactly what he did. They're trying to buy some time by exploiting the time chamber. His own plan worked against him. He should have seen it coming. Although he is mad at himself. He was so close to winning. Maybe his pride got the best of him. He thought he was playing it smart, but still, there was that aspect that he didn't even notice or acknowledge. But maybe this isn't so bad. He learned from this. He can grow by just spending his time here training. Plus, he probably should get more accustomed to his powers. He's used to all the other magical abilities that he has. But the one thing he didn't really get to spend too much time with was his new raw power. Not just the power he got from Kami, but the power he got from Shenron as well. It looks like he still got hasty in some regard. But it's fine. He'll use this to his advantage. He'll train in here. And he'll grow even beyond where he is now. Besides, he feels there's more power underneath the surface that he hasn't accessed yet. It's only a matter of time before he finally achieves victory. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? And what's going to happen next in the finale? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As always, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you guys want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.